What's up, savages? Terrence Pop here with another episode of Live from the Lair, and it really is live. And today's subject is about men, and it is no cakewalk being a man today, and it's probably a little easier today than it was 50 years ago and beyond, because then it was really hard. And nobody appreciates what we do, even though we built, maintain, and protect the very civilization that you enjoy today. All right. Now, as we all know, there's some craziness going on in the Middle East. And I've been saying this for years that if we do not meet our recruiting numbers, they're going to bring back the draft. All right. Now, everyone said, no, that could never happen. Okay. Let's get something straight. Yes, it can happen. Yes, it can happen here just like anywhere else, and don't you dare believe it can't. Especially if nukes start getting dropped, guess what? Your candy ass is getting packed up, racked up, and sent off to one of the 4, maybe 5 branches of the military. And you could say no all you want. I understand. As a young individual, I'd probably say the same thing. But in reality, that's not going to happen. And men today are just as disposable as they were 100 years ago and beyond. For instance, Teutoburg Forest during the Roman Empire, the whole legion got wiped out. World War I, a whole generation from 5 or 6 different countries got wiped out. World War I, we sent, I think it was somewhere just shy of 200,000 people to start off. And we left, I think there's like 20 or 30,000 American graves just from World War I left behind. They're so disposable they couldn't even pay the shipping costs to send their carcass home to their family. Same thing during World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War. Except, Korean War and Vietnam War, they did bring the people back. But World War II, there's still cemeteries over in England, France. I think there's a few more surrounding countries where our World War II slain were entombed or buried, never to be returned. All right. Men make up a majority of the individuals getting hurt and killed on jobs. We pay a lion's share of the taxes. And it's about time we talked about some of the challenges men face. And I got a short briefing at the end if you want to hang out until the end to hear about it. And it has to deal with the overall frustrations that a dude has to tolerate, different stages of his life. And what happens if he goes over his bullshit saturation number. It's usually a bad thing. All right. Now, this is Wednesday. Blake is not involved. These are usually shorter streams, about an hour and 20 minutes or so. Sometimes we have an after party for 15 minutes to 30 minutes longer, depending on the circumstances. I apologize for not having a stream yesterday, but Blake has a young child, and I literally have zero issue with him not streaming and having time with his child. Especially trick-or-treating, because it's my second favorite holiday. It just is what it is. Things happen. Life gets in the way sometime. All right. Now, with that being said, got Jimmy on the line.
What's going on, my riggers?
What's going on, man? All right. Pull up the first article, and let's get through this.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Now,
will do.
This is a subject that's really hits close to home for me, so I'm going to chime in probably more than usual on these.
Yep. And as we all know, as the majority of us are men, At least I would hope. We all have some challenges that we need to overcome.
Yep.
Here's a good list of them. We got a couple lists here.
Now, where is that list coming from? What site is that?
This is coming from allprodad.com.
Okay.
So, having grown up in one of the toughest inner city ghettos of Miami, Florida, a media reporter asked me, "What's the biggest challenge I had to overcome as a man?" My answer surprised her. Reporter, nice. You have to understand, I was a product of a teenage mother. 6 of my friends had lost their lives before I was 16 years old. Most of my childhood friends were incarcerated. I was a survivor of sexual abuse, and my father abandoned us, him and his sister, when they were only 2 years old. I told the reporter, the biggest challenge I had to overcome was my pride, my inability to ask for help and support I needed to deal with the struggles I had endured as a child. If you had to ask the average man what he considered to be the biggest challenges as a man, you're more than likely to hear any of the following. Mirage.
Mirage?
Mirage.
Let's call it Mirage because that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
There's no upside to it.
Nope. And then we got lust and ornpeography.
Mm-hmm.
Finances. Job stress.
Hang on. Let's talk about the finances really quick. All right. All right. Most men want to become self-sufficient when they get to a certain age. And in today's day and age, going to college, in my opinion, is not the answer, especially if you're going to run up a bunch of debt. If you don't do the cost benefit analysis of what kind of job you can get with whatever degree that you're going to get and wind up, 30,000 in debt and working at a job that pays you, like 40 to 50 grand a year, you're a goddamn idiot. You fell for the bullshit. All right. I know a lot of young men out there between the ages of 22 and 26 who never went to college, went to the trades, and are doing just great. They're not saddled with a bunch of debt. All right. And it used to be a big thing in the working world for men. Once they got married, they made more money. A lot of times men would get married and they'd get raises or what have you. That doesn't happen anymore. You literally, guys are out there working, 10, 12, 14-hour days, kill themselves on the job. If you are not married, I highly advise you not to do that because your sanity, your peace is more important than your pocketbook at this juncture. All right. Now, if you're working a job where you're making just ludicrous amounts of money, all right, knock it out of the park, continue what you're doing. But at some point, you're going to run out of gas. Everyone does. That's just how it goes. All right. Continue on. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No problem. All right. Let's see. We got raising teenagers. That's always fun. I was a teenager once. I wasn't that big of a pain in the ass, I don't think, though.
Oh, I was terrible. It was terrible.
Communication. Time management.
That's
procrastination.
Procrastination, that's a big one.
Yep.
I still suffer from that now, and I'm 55.
Oh, yeah, so do I. It's bad for me. And the last one here is a lack of confidence, etc., etc.
I just talked about this, the lack of confidence with Darren's daughter, who I adopted as my niece. We just literally went to Outback before the stream, and I bought her dinner. I see her every 3 to 6 weeks or so, and she was talking about I need to get self-confidence. And I just told her that the best way to get self-confidence is to put yourself in situations where you have to rely on yourself. Because once you do that a few times, you're like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? I can handle it. You got to have the self-confidence in yourself. Otherwise, self-confidence is literally the gasoline that starts your engine.
Yep.
And drive is what makes it go.
Yep. No one is coming to, the saying is, no one is coming to save us. We
Nope.
are on our own.
That's right. You're a one-man army, and it's up to you to win, surrender, or run away. Nobody's coming to your rescue.
Yep. They say the biggest challenge a man faces is one of the least likely to admit, and it is his struggle with pride. A friend once told me that the word pride stands for please remember, I destroy everything.
And well, pride is mentioned in one of the 7 deadly sins for a reason.
Yeah.
I myself got tooled up a few times because I was too prideful, and I bit off more than I can chew, and I refused to quit or shut up, and I got beat with the earth a few times. That's just the way it goes. I was young, and I bounced back, pretty quickly. But, in today's day and age, instead of getting picked up and thrown onto the concrete a couple times, back then, they'll just shoot you now and you're dead. You learn nothing. So you need to, learn how to hold back that pride a little bit, because you never know what the other guy's carrying in his pocket. Just saying.
As the another old saying goes, is an armed society is a polite society.
That's why I want to bring back dueling.
Yes. Let's see. They continue here. If you don't believe that pride is a man's biggest challenge, honestly, answer the following questions about yourself. Are you judgmental towards those who make a different lifestyle choices?
Yes, I am.
Do you frequently correct or criticize those closest to you?
Not really.
Are you a perfectionist, and do you get easily annoyed with impatient with others?
Certainly not. I could care less.
Yep. Do you think your way is the right way, the only way, and the best way, or most of the time?
Not really.
No, I would say no on that one. Is it hard for people to measure up to your expectations?
Well, if I actually expected anything from anyone, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you avoid participating in certain things for fear of being embarrassed or looking foolish?
Not really.
No.
Well,
And,
if it involves like taking off my shirt, I don't like to show my gut, so maybe that might apply.
yeah, that and those that have tuned into my streams, that is definitely a no for me, because I make an ass out of myself almost every single time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope, I have fun. No, it's no big deal. Are you afraid to ask for help or admit when you're struggling with something?
No.
Do you have a hard time reaching out and building relationships with men you don't know?
Well, it all depends. Yeah, it is what it is. Maybe a little bit.
Are you sitting there reading this thinking that none of these things apply to you?
I would say some of them apply.
Yeah, some of them do. Yeah. The reason why pride is such a challenge for men is because it's usually the root cause of all the other issues listed above: struggling marriage, emotionally disengaged teenagers, addiction to alcohol, don't judge me, or pay, poor communication, intimacy issues, job overwhelm, anger, financial struggles, and the lack of true friendships are the only deeper problem rooted in our inability to meet or struggling in these areas.
See that friendship thing. That's a big one. I mean, if you don't have family, if you never got married, you don't have any kids, and your parents are going to die shortly. I'm kind of in the same situation. It really is good to have some close friends. It is, and I'm lucky. I've got quite a few. I should say not quite a few, because 2 of them are dead now. But I do have still some living close friends. It sounds terrible, but I am 55. It is what it is. But it's very important, at least, to have some, close friends. Even if you talk to them once a month or once a week or something, it is what it is. It really pays dividends. All right.
Mouse here. And let's see, they go on to say, Personally, I was too afraid, ashamed, and embarrassed to admit that I didn't know what to do when I felt like I was a failure or needed help. I didn't want to admit I needed to seek counsel, join a support group, or confess my struggles to my family. So, how do you overcome pride? Simply do these things. And I did read over these ones.
You don't have to go into detail.
I'm not in agreement with this. He says, one, surrender, admit to others that you need help and you can't solve your problems on your own.
Well, okay. Listen, no one can do it themselves. No one is an expert on everything. At some point, you're going to encounter a situation where you do not have the will, the skill, or the tools to deal with. And it is not a negative mark against your score if you pick up the phone and say, hey, man, I need some help. I've done it many times myself.
Yep.
Many times.
Yep. There is no shame to asking for help when you really, really need it.
It's like there is no stupid question and there is no shame in asking for help.
Nope. Then the second one here is pray. Pray for the strength, the resources, the support that you need from others to deal with your struggle.
Save the God stuff. We don't sell God here.
Yeah, nope. You can ask for it. It is what it is. If you're that part of the man, if you're that kind of a religious man, yeah, more power to you.
Yeah, listen, I was raised by a very religious family, and I would say I still believe in God and, Jesus Christ and all that. But from what I've seen happen in various churches throughout my life, I've lost the flavor for organized religion. It is what it is.
Yep, I can agree on that one. And then finally, he says, act. Faithfully apply the wisdom you received from the wise counsel of others in dealing with your struggle. Yep, that one I can fully agree on.
Yeah.
And he says, finishes off here. All three of these steps are easy to do, and because of pride, they're also easy not to do. So please remember, I destroy everything.
Yeah. And also, don't be an asshole. And what I mean by that is the guy who always asks for advice or opinions, and he never uses them. I mean, that's incredibly frustrating to me, at least. If somebody comes up and says, "Hey, I need help," or "What is your opinion on this?" and I tell them the opinion, then they do the 180 degrees, and they wind up getting messed up over it. And then I'm like, "Hey, okay," but I call those people assholes. Just so you know, it's one of my terms.
They ask for advice, you give them advice, and they do not take that advice.
Mm-hmm. That's a 100% asshole.
Yep. But we'll move on here to the most challenging things that modern men have to deal with. There's 7 to be exact.
All right. Now, we're going to go through the list. I don't really agree with every single one here, but I understand why they're on there.
Yep. Let's see here. We got some men face obstacles which they struggle to get past. It's a myth that men do not face obstacles. Yeah, that's a bullshit. As Julie Zellinger explains, even with ever-present privilege,
privilege.
Feminist flag warning number 1.
Feminist flag. All right. So read that top statement again.
It's a myth that men do not face obstacles.
All right. So obstacles. I've faced quite a few in my life thus far. And you want to get past an obstacle, you're going to have to take out a shovel and either dig through it, dig under it, or dig around it. And that's just the way it is. And that shovel is your own willpower and drive. Because when I wanted to be an airborne ranger, I literally went against every fucking officer in my chain of command, pissed off, basically everyone on post to get where I wanted to be. And I worked my ass off to get there. Same thing with the Green Beret. Same thing with college. Same thing when I used to fight, on the circuit. You're going to take your licks. You got to put in your dues. You got to beat those obstacles. And the best way is willpower and drive, because you can make pretty much anything happen if you're young enough. So there you go.
Okay, check back in here real quick. Even their ever-present privilege, men face their own set of destructive barriers that restrict what it means to be a man and how a man can express himself.
Okay, so we have a feminist trying to tell men how to be men. That's the second red flag in this article. It's very annoying.
Yeah, this was written by yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to name that.
No, don't even do it. Go to the second point.
Let's see. Some men lose motivation to go on.
Okay. This is a big one, and this is why the show exists. That's why this number's here. All right. A lot of guys out there get caught in the quagmire of life. And because of pride, we just talked about that, they don't ask for help. They don't talk to anyone around them. They literally think it's all on their shoulders. They're the only one this has ever happened to, and they're sinking and they can't seem to swim. All right. And this is the time when you got to laugh. When you find yourself in that dark pit and shit's just going south, there's always something, no matter how dark or twisted it is, to make a joke about. All right. I mean, I did it with my guys. We're getting mortared every fucking day. And I can't tell you the times I'd be like, hey, well, yeah. You could go out there if you want, but, your iron, intake will probably be a little higher when you get back, if you come back. Stuff like that. I used to make jokes like that all the time. And after I got people laughing, on a few occasions, I led those same men into battle. There you go. All right.
Laughter is one of the best tools that we have at our disposal.
Why we do what we do here.
Yep. Go to the next one. Some men live their lives stuck on autopilot.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Now, if your life sounds like this familiar song, dunch, 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 da, da. Listen, you can only do that for so long. All right. That's why there's things called vacations. Time off. All right. You cannot live the bulk of your life on autopilot because you miss so much. I can't tell you how many times, I've noted, like when I was in the military, it was like payday. The time was just whipping by. And I literally had to take a moment and consciously go, hey, you need to be more conscious of what's going on and what you're doing, because autopilot is really not the best life choice. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some tasks that you have to go into autopilot so you don't go fucking crazy, like road marching, working on roofs, tarring, blacktops and stuff. Okay, I got it. But you should not live your entire life 24/7, 365 on autopilot. There's things out there called, what is it? Hobbies, extracurricular activities. Get a side job, side hustle. Get a side piece of ass. Who cares? Just don't do the same thing for your entire life, especially if you're just marking time. That way, you're just, counting the days instead of making the days count. All right, keep going. I'm sorry.
That was a good one there, Pop. I like that one. Let's see, the next one here. Some men are scared of their own vulnerability.
Well, that's complete bullshit. All right. First of all, I have not. Okay, how should I phrase this? I've had my heart ripped out of my asshole many times. Been Dear John, been divorced, cheated on. The list goes on and on. Was I upset about it? Yes. Did I feel vulnerable and upset? Yes. All right. Did I have any fear because I was vulnerable? No, I did not. This is feminist talk that they want men to be more open and talk about their feelings. All right, first of all, if you're one of those guys who cries at the drop of a hat, women are going to run away from you. Are a pariah to them in their mind. All right? Because women look at that as weakness. They can say they don't. They can say whatever they want. They write whole books about no, be vulnerable. Don't do it, gentlemen. It's a trap. And you're certainly not afraid because you have some type of vulnerability. This is utter bullshit. Don't fall for this crap. All right, carry on, Jimmy.
Carrying on. All right, next one. We got some men are sitting on a dream that seems so far out of reach.
All right, this is very common. And I've talked to a lot of guys in my time who were very, very talented, but they stayed where they're at because they were afraid of what other people would think. I had a guy who was a sergeant, a supply sergeant, had a master's degree in music. I mean, the dude could play 3 or 4 wind instruments, guitar, banjo, and like 2 other string weird monstrosities. I mean, they were insane. One was incredibly long and had like a lever. I mean, it was insane. And I'm like, why don't you compose some music? He's like, nah, people will look down on me. And I'm like, what the fuck did you go to school for? You went to school to get a master's in music, and now you're here selling pencils and bullshit to soldiers. Like signing out food, beans, bullets, I mean, it's such a waste of talent. There is so much talent out there that you guys are allowing to remain dormant within you because of some fear that you have of what people will think about you. If you are so afraid of what other people think, you will never, ever be anything more than a slave to those same people. I literally cleaned out my friend list from all the useless sons of bitches that were there because they were doing that same shit. And you are the sum total of the 6 closest people in your life. So choose wisely. All right.
Move on here. Some men are constantly rejected. Rejection should be the
It's SOP.
that's SOP for men.
This was my SOP when I was in my dick thinking days. I would literally approach 15 to 20 women just to get one phone number. This is before text and stuff. I know I'm dating myself. All right. Out of every 3 to 5 phone numbers, I would actually maybe get 1 or 2 dates. That is slim picking. And if you're one of those guys who gets rejected 5 or 6 times, you're like, oh, it sucks. I just keep getting rejected. I don't know. I'm not going to play the game. I got it. But you can't live your life like that. You cannot be afraid of rejection. People are going to reject you based on, like, for instance, I got rejected by a woman because I used to carry a Velcro wallet. All right. That is insane. Fuck her. I don't care. Yep. I just moved on to the next one. All right.
It's just like the women these days are saying, oh, well, if he has an Android phone and all this and that, he can't afford a brand new iPhone every year. Bitch, my phone it makes phone calls and it makes texts. It does everything that I need it to do. But oh no, I need to have the $1,200 phone. No thanks.
Listen, rejection is not ejection.
Nope.
It's not going to kill you. You get ejected from your meat suit or you're going back to the lobby for a reassignment. Rejection is nothing. It shouldn't even be a speed bump in front of you at all. Somebody rejects you, whatever, next. That's the way it works.
Moving on.
That's right.
Yep. Let's see, and the last one here, they say, some men face unrealistic expectations.
Some men. How about all men?
Yeah.
All right. 6 feet tall, six-pack abs, six-figure income. That is the standard that these women want. Even the fat, gravitationally challenged ones that hit every branch of the ugly tree on the way down. No, that's not how it works. All right.
No.
Oh, wow.
Gotta love that one. Got you a little spun up there, Pop.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the reason I get spun up is, men's lives mean a lot to me. All right. I literally did 33 years in the military. Yes, I did all the high-speed whiz-bang stuff, but I rehabilitated hundreds of dudes that were broken in the brain pan because of circumstances and obstacles in their way. And I'm just literally just doing the same thing now. Now that I'm retired and I live on a pension and I'm fucking physically broken, but mentally I'm still somewhat there and I can still help other dudes, and that's what I'm doing. It's important to me, and it should be important to you. And anyone here watching this, you need to pay it forward and do the same goddamn thing I'm doing long after I've taken my dirt nap.
Damn right. Let's get that number up. We got 533 on the board.
Yep.
We need to get that fucking number up as much as possible. Moving on to the next frustrating problems that men have. We got another list of 9 frustrating problems.
Yeah, let's just
Shy bladder syndrome.
what the hell is that?
If you gotta take a piss, man, you let it flow. Just relax. Simple as that.
Yeah. Well, see the picture there? They have like the spaces in between. That's the way it should be.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
If you go into one of these other 2 stalls, you're going to be questioned as a meat gazer.
Listen, the standard default setting is 1 urinal space if it's there. All right. And if they're not all full. If there's a long line and you're waiting to get in there to do your business, it's waived. But if there is no line and there's a dude standing there and there's 6 urinals, don't you dare go stand next to that dude when there's that many open. You're going to get assessed a homo suspicion point. That's just the way it goes. Don't do it.
You fucking meat gazer, man.
Exactly what's going to happen.
Let's see. Morningwood.
That's not a problem.
It's not a
At
problem.
my age, I look forward to that.
Yes.
Because then I know it's still fucking working.
Yep. What's the Rodney Carrington song? He used to watch me shave. Now all he does is stare at the floor.
That's pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much it.
Yep. And then you got the random erections.
Listen, that's a problem. Like before the age of like 28, and it's really bad when you're in school. And I understand we all have that problem. It is what it is. Just learn how to shift the inconspicuous ball and dick shift. You got to learn how to do that because these things happen.
Yep.
This is not an overwhelming problem.
No.
And it's kind of funny that they put that on the list.
Yeah. And if you're in school, that's why you always have a book or something or other.
That's right.
Carry it around.
You got to carry a notebook for penis deflection.
Yep.
You have to deflect the eyes from the penis.
And again, we got the premature ejaculations.
This one here is overrated. Now, listen, I myself never suffered from this problem, but I understand it. Some guys get all wrapped around the axle in their head about the whole act of whatchamacallit. And as soon as it begins, the trigger's pulled. Most of the time, with practice, you can learn how to get around this. There are medications out there that you can take for this. I highly recommend you don't take them unless you absolutely need them. I am no doctor. But again, this is not like a big problem men have. No. And any woman who if you're with a woman and she brings it up and then tries to use it to humiliate you, you need to cut ties with that woman ASAP and move the hell on, because that woman does not have your best interest at heart.
Nope.
All right.
And thanks to Crusader Nate, it was Rodney Carrington
Okay.
that made that song. Thank you for that, there, Crusader Nate. And let's see, got the hover hand. Taking a picture with a good-looking woman.
Again,
you have to hover your hand, because if not, you're going to be
you can
on
catch
the
a
hook
charge.
Catching a charge.
Listen, in my day, that was not a problem. In current year, I guess this is somewhat of a problem. A basic rule of thumb is, if you do not know this woman, do not allow her to stand within 1 foot of you for a picture. Unless it's a big group thing, that's a different story. And like Keanu Reeves is famous for the hover hand.
Yep.
There are hundreds of pictures out there with him hovering his hand, not even touching him. And unfortunately, that's just the way it has to be. Now, is this a major problem for dudes? No, it's not. It shouldn't even be on this list. But people got to people.
Yep. There actually was one Asian MMA fighter that got into some hot water because he was a little overzealous because he won a bout, and he went over to the ring girl. He pulled her in for a hug and whatnot. This very next fight that he won, he literally was being chased around the ring by this woman because she wanted to take a picture with him. Like, nope, not happening again.
So he got his pee spanked, and he's like, never again. And I don't blame him.
Yep. And it's stupid. Let's see. Making the first move.
Again, that's not a problem. Just do it.
Yep. Do it.
Now, in current year, like what I usually do is like, hey, I'm going to kiss you. Is that okay? And if they say yes, then I'm going in for it. If not, I'm like, okay, not a big deal. There's no shame or humiliation. It just is what it is.
No problem.
Again, it goes with self-confidence. Get some self-confidence, you'll be okay.
That, and as the I can't remember what it was, the meme or whatever it was. Consent is sexy.
Get the hell out of here.
Consent is making sure that you're not going to get bent over and all this other stuff when you catch that charge because she didn't want it.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck off with that. Of course, paying for dinner.
All right. Again, this is stupid. All right. This is the way it works. Now, I'm old school here. If I ask a woman out, I pick the place and I pay for everything, unless she, gets stupid at the bar. But I've only had that problem a couple times. Okay. It's not a big deal. Now, I've had women like, I'll pay my half. And I'm like, okay. Do I ever see these women again? No. Because they actually wanted me to go, no, it's okay. I'll pay for it. If they offer to pay half, fuck it. They're paying half. This should not be a problem.
Saves you $35 for dinner.
Yeah, it does.
Let's see. Making the money.
All right. Again, this is a big one. All right. If you are one of those guys who is totally ignored in high school, and then you go to college and you get a good degree and you start making money, please do not delude yourself that women actually are talking to you because they like you. They like your money for the most part. Are there instances where I'm wrong? Yes, I'm not a mind reader. I'm not 100% correct. It just is what it is. But listen, Mother Teresa would have got on her knees and sucked thousands of penises if you said, I will feed all of Africa if you do that. I know people are like, oh, Pop, that's so terrible. I can't believe you said Mother Teresa. Listen, all women are whores. It's just the price. That's it. You're haggling over price. That's it. Now you know. Okay.
$20 is $20.
Don't say that.
And then the last one here is physical strength.
All right. Physical strength. Now, in my day, when I was younger, pound for pound, I was incredibly strong. Like I used to bench 2 times my body weight, deadlift 3 times my body weight, pick my body weight over my head and do 1 chin up with it strapped to my feet. Okay. It's not that hard to get fit. Well, it's not super challenging to get physically strong. It just takes drive and, constantly doing it. Your body will adapt, especially if you're under the age of 35. All right. Ideally, if you are out there and you're a father and you got like boys that are like 12 to 13 years old, I highly advise you to put them in a sport, get them lifting weights early, because it literally will extend their warranty later on in life. If you're one of those people that didn't do shit, by the time you're 25, your warranty's gone. If you like did sports in high school, whatever, your warranty wears out at 30. But if you stay, sharp and you stay in shape, you can get the extended warranty up until 40. And then after that, all bets are off. And it's over for you there. But physical strength can be, it can be gained. And what you don't realize about physical strength is if you don't have any physical strength and you develop it, you're not only developing physical strength, but you're developing mental strength at the same time. You might not know it at the time, but you are. I train fighters, and I train them to fight, be physically strong, agile, but at the same time, I let them know I'm strengthening this. There you go.
All right, we're about halfway through here. We're going to do a quick roll call. I've actually got to take a leak here, but we'll do a quick roll call here.
Okay.
We got 392 over on YouTube watching. We got 352 on Rumble. You guys are slacking a little bit over there. Got 33 on MGTOW.tv, the best chat on the internet. I'm not just saying that. Let's see, we got 27 over on Odyssey. We got 13 on Twitch, 5 on DLive, and we got 6 over on Kick.
Yeah. All right.
Let me throw up a quick pee break real fast. I got to go empty my squirrel bladder. I'm not sure about you guys, but let's see. You know what? Just for the captain and whatnot, here's the Blake pee break.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Yeah, baby, yeah! It's a man, baby.
Everything, hey.
You're very shagadelic.
All righty.
All right.
Much better there.
Hey, look, you got to piss. That's just the way it goes. It happens to me all the time.
Nature calls, man.
I have a squirrel bladder.
Yep. But well, we covered the main main issues that men seem to be facing these days. Well, let's shift gears here and go to the medical side of things. The 8 common men's health issues to watch out for.
Yeah.
These are in no particular order, but we got heart disease.
Hmm.
More men die of heart disease than any other cause of death.
All right. First of all, heart disease runs in my family, so I understand this one. All right. It is what it is. Now, should you eat better? Yeah. Do I really give a shit? Not really. I'm on the 65 and I'll play. All right. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of supplements today that you can take to lower your chances of, getting a heart attack. And I highly advise that you actually research that. And you don't have to go to doctors and take the statins and stuff. Those are terrible for you. But there's a bunch of supplements out there that can do the exact same thing without the side effects. All right. What's the next one?
Go to the next one here. We got cancer. The other C word that no one likes to hear.
Yeah, listen. Cancer is going to get most of us. And that's just the way it is. It's either cancer or a heart attack is going to basically zero out 85% of the population. It just is what it is. There's so many goddamn chemicals out there, pesticides, additives, chemicals. Like even the upholstery in your goddamn car has enough chemicals in it to give you cancer. That's just the way it is. Especially after these vax bullshit. I'm hearing all kinds of stories about people getting vaxxed and boosted, and then all of a sudden their body's riddled with cancer. That's just the way it goes.
Shocker.
Yeah. What's the next one?
Let's see. We got the diabetes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, there's type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Type 1 is when your cells in your pancreas that make insulin get knocked off by your own immune system. It's an autoimmune thing. Some people say it's genetic. The jury is still out on all of that stuff for the most part. And then you have type 2 diabetes. And that's when you basically are eating carbs 3 to 4 times a day. And after a certain amount of time, your own cells in your body stop recognizing the insulin that your body's making. And you literally turn into a turnip. People get fat as shit on this. One of the best defenses against type 2 diabetes is get your ass up and walk 3 to 5 miles 3 to 5 times a week. You don't even have to do it fast. You don't have to break a sweat. You just have to get up off your ass and move. Your body is designed to move. Do it.
As Bill Burr once said, you ate yourself into it, you can walk yourself out.
Correct.
All right. The next one is the erectile dysfunction.
All right. Now, listen, most dudes are going to deal with this when they get over the age of 40 to a certain extent. All right. There are medications you can take that really make this not a problem. There are procedures and steps you can take. I'm not going to go into them here. But in the grand scheme of things, having a PP that doesn't work all the time is way better than the C word or a heart attack.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that and if you're a man that's over 40 and whatnot, usually it's the women that are in that age bracket that
Correct.
has the erectile dysfunction.
Yes. Listen, it is. It is very hard to make the soldier stand to attention when he doesn't like going into the barracks. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, that is a good one there. See, we got the hipple HIV and other STIs.
All right. Yeah. Listen, we call it VADA for a reason. If you get VADA, you're doing stupid shit. Don't do the stupid shit. You don't have to worry about VADA. Wear a goddamn condom. Push away from the whore tree. Just push away from the whore tree. I understand it's fun when the one falls out, but the low-hanging whores on the whore tree are usually infected with stuff. Just letting you know.
Yep.
And certainly don't pick the whores up off the ground if they've been sitting there for a while, because there's worms in that.
Yeah, they've been fermenting for quite some time.
You got to stay away from the fermenting whores.
Ugh.
Never going to work out for you.
Let's see the next one here. They got low testosterone.
It's very common. And my opinion, why we're suffering from the low testosterone is there are estrogen mimicking chemicals in plastic, and literally everything that you deal with has plastic in it. Even tin cans have a layer of some type of plastic. We also have a problem with a lot of the minerals that you need to make those processes work are basically out of our farming soil because we've over-farmed them and not replaced those minerals. And I'm talking like potassium, magnesium, boron, zinc, stuff like that, you know. And my advice is get that stuff in vitamins, and a lot of that will go away.
Yep. All right, next one here. They got depression. Fun
All right.
times.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, okay. Now, we always talk about the stat about 1 in 4 women are on a head med. It's usually on a head med of some type, and it's usually for depression. And that was like 13 years ago. So I'm sure it's even higher now, especially when you're going to have half of the next generation being single and childless by the time they're 30 or in 2030. I mean, and that's 7 years away from now. It's only going to get worse. All right. And a lot of these people who are depressed, they're looking for happiness outside of themselves and not within. So my advice is if you're starting to feel depressed or some shit going on, take a good look at what's going on within yourself and see if you can change some stuff to, change your outlook and your mental picture of the world. Because it makes all the difference.
Yep.
Taking a pill is not the answer. It's a crutch. Right? When I had my TBI, I literally sat down with some of the shrink and another doctor, and like, well, you're going to have to be on these pills for the rest of your life. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, so a year. Like, no, the rest of your life. Oh, okay, a year it is then. And that's exactly what I did. I took their bullshit for 1 year, and then I weaned off of it over a 90-day period, and I haven't touched it since. You don't need it. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Here's a pill to fix your broken brain, Pam, but there may be some side effects.
Yeah, like suicide. Get out of here.
Yeah. And then you go back and say, oh, well, doc, I'm having all these kind of side effects with this pill. Oh, well, here's another pill to take care of those side effects.
Yep.
Just don't take it with that original pill because there could be even more side effects.
You are correct. What's the name?
Yikes. And I think the last one here is Decoof.
All right, this is stupid. Listen, COVID is what it is. It was basically a bionic cold when it started. Now it's basically the common cold.
Yep.
So,
it's mutated how many times now?
Billions of times. It's bullshit. That's just filler. Fuck that list.
And usually whenever a virus like that mutates, it becomes weaker. But it's just the processes of how certain hospitals have handled that.
Yeah.
Has increased certain numbers of unaliveness.
You're talking body bag stuffers? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on from the health issues to the workplace.
Go to the numbers.
Because we like our numbers here.
Yes.
30 startling workplace violence statistics. Statistics on the workplace violence in the U.S.
When I reviewed this, I was like, holy fuck, is this true?
Apparently it is.
It is.
Workplace violence continues to be a pressing issue that companies from all sectors grapple with across the United States. Today, millions of people fall victim to the workplace violence each and every year. And in the effort to understand the complexities and intricacies of workplace violence in the U.S., our data analysis team concluded, in the United States, there are 2 million victims of workplace violence each year.
That's a big number.
Quite a number. The healthcare and social assistance industries have an 8.2% workplace violent incident rate. Workplace violence death rates for men are roughly 75% higher than those for females.
I am shocked. I'm shocked it's not even higher.
Yeah. Workplace violence causes American business to lose on average $250 to $330 billion each year.
It's probably in lawsuits and what have you.
Yep. 85% of workplace violence deaths are due to robbery.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I wonder what demographic is most prevalent for that
where's this affecting
statistic.
people? Yeah.
Workplace assaults resulted in 20,050 injuries and 392 fatalities in 2020 alone.
Okay. Hey, look, you're gonna run your mouth. Shit's gonna happen.
Don't let your mouth cash a check that your ass can't cash.
Now, listen. Very rarely are you at work and somebody just starts, shooting up the place or beating the shit out of somebody else. There's usually a bunch of back and forth and some history of this bullshit going on before it gets to that level. Usually.
Yep. And we won't cover very much of this one, but the sources are on the website there, gentlemen. So be sure to take a look at this and find out for yourself. There's a lot of good numbers and statistics in here.
What's the other one? There's another good one in there, isn't there?
Let's see. There's, of course, a large majority of workplace violence fatalities are men.
Uh-huh.
454 workplace violence deaths recorded in 2019. 366 were male and 88 were female.
Okay.
As such, the workplace violence fatality rate for men is roughly 80%, while the workplace fatality rate for women is about 19.4%.
That's really interesting. I'm just wondering where these women are getting killed at. Are they like shopkeepers and getting killed by robbers or something? That's not. It seems kind of high.
Yeah.
Normally women don't kill each other at work. They usually just assassinate everyone's character.
Yep. When broken down by race, white workers were more often involved in workplace violence incidents.
Wow, that's a shock.
Of 1,000 employees, roughly 13 white employees and 10.4 black employees are involved in a workplace violence incident each year. Meanwhile, about 12.7 non-Hispanic workers and 9.7 Hispanic workers out of 1,000 are involved in annual workplace violence incidences in the United States.
Wow. Okay. All right, let's move on to the numbers. The next one. Let's pull that one up.
Like I said, that all the sources are on the website there, gentlemen. Be sure to take a good look at it.
Yeah, the main reason I put this in there, just to give you a snapshot of, what's going on. Because listen, as a man, statistically speaking, you are at a greater risk for all forms of violence. All forms of violence. Gun violence, being attacked with knives, being jumped, killed in a parking garage, shot in a shop, what have you. I mean, it's not a joke. And these feminists are like, well, you have the privilege of being able to walk home at night unmolested. Have you looked at the numbers? That is absolute horseshit. All right.
And speaking of numbers, we all know how we like our numbers and our graphs.
Yeah, here we go.
Here's a PNG from the news release Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. Department of Labor.
Yep.
Let's see. This is a chart of 1 and 2 of a number of fatalities and injuries from 2011 to 21. Quite the numbers there.
What is the numbers at the top? Is it 5,000 or 6,000? What is it?
Let's see. There were 5,190 fatal work injuries recorded in the United States in 2021, an 8.9% increase from 4,764 in 2020.
All right. So 330 million people in this country, 6,000 men died on the job. That's not that big of a number. If you really want to look at the real, terrible numbers, you go back into the 30s through the 60s, and there were literally, they would put these numbers to shame, because now we have OSHA and there's other organizations that try to make everything safer. But at the end of the day, I mean, men do the dud jobs, the dangerous, dirty, uncomfortable jobs, because they pay more. Because risk equals reward and time equals money. It's basic economics. All right. Now, you have feminists out there screaming about equality, but they don't want to, have the same deaths on the job as men. They don't want to do those jobs.
Nope.
They want men to do them because we, for the most part, are expendable, and everyone knows it. No one's talking about it except me. It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yep. You don't see too many women on the crab boats. I mean, yeah, there are women out there that do the job, but they do it. But let's just say that you don't see them doing the underwater welding.
Nope.
Not very many. Laying pipe because they're too busy taking pipe. Giggity.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
And all that good stuff.
Is it laying pipe or taking pipe? Huh? What is it? There's a joke in there somewhere.
Somewhere in there. But there's quite a few pages on this PDF.
Yeah, we're not going to go through all of
and,
it.
I'll just scroll through this real quick just to show the graphs. This is the fatal working injury rates per 100,000 full-time equivalent workers.
Mhm.
Logging workers, they actually dipped in 2021.
Mhm.
Fishing and hunting, they also took a dip, but in 2020, quite the bit. Roofers, of course, you have an argument with gravity and physics, you're always going to lose.
Never works out. It never works out.
Yep. I got aircraft pilots and flight engineers. Of course, that's also a given. Structural iron and steel workers. Around hot and heavy shit. You're either going to get burned or crushed.
I know a couple guys who are permanently, seriously disabled because they were iron workers. That shit is unforgiving. It really is.
Yep.
Like one dude, they have the I-beam and they're swinging it into place, and somebody fucked up somewhere and literally hit him in the leg, crushed the top of his femur and his pelvis. The dude limps around on one leg. The other one's like this thin little noodle. It used to be. It's all fucked up. That is just heartbreaking. I mean, another guy, again, fell off 2.5 stories onto a scrap pile and is paralyzed from the waist down. I mean, this is serious shit here. And this is the kind of conditions men used to work in on the regular. Have you ever gone to a relative's home, and in the basement, there's the slop sink, and then there's a toilet by there, or maybe a shower, and it's not really a bathroom, but it is. You know what that used to be called? It used to be called a muck room, meaning when the man came home from work, because he was so fucking filthy and dirty, he came in the side or back door, went into the basement, and cleaned himself up before he went upstairs to hang out with his family. That's the way it used to be. Thank you for that. You're welcome for the history lesson.
Yep. And we'll finish off this graph here, and then I think we'll cover some super chats, call it a night.
All right.
Drivers and sale workers and truck drivers. Majority of truck drivers are men. And as a diesel mechanic that has worked on at a shop on the off the interstate, I've seen some shit. Not
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Got a refuse and recyclable materials collector. Yeah, you don't see too many women driving the honey wagons, if you were.
Yeah. No, you don't see any of that.
Nope. And the last one here, we got underground mining machine operators.
That's incredibly dangerous.
Really, really bad stuff. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but sources are on the website. Take a gander at it yourself there, gentlemen.
All right. Let me give the briefing first, then we'll do super chats, okay?
All righty.
All right. Let me move this chair out of the way. All right. Now, if you guys watch this show on the regular, you remember I did the frustration points, the graph, the downward sloping growth. I think that was like a month and a half, 2 months ago. Well, this one kind of builds off of that. All right. Now, you'll see here to the left, I have 3 pie charts. All right. This represents a 24-hour day. Back in the day when you were a kid, usually it starts 11 or 12 when you really get into the 8-hour cycle, 8 hours of sleep and what have you. When you're younger, you used to sleep more, so that doesn't count. But usually you get 8 hours of work or school if you're a kid. Then you have 8 hours of chill or homework or whatever. Then you get 8 hours of sleep. All right. Single men do the same thing. Now, this usually applies between 9 and 19. And you can take it out, if you want to stay single and not work a hard job, you can maintain this, indefinitely if you wish. Next, you have the married man. Married man's got to make more money. It's got to, time equals money and risk equals reward. And usually they spend more time. So he'll spend 12 hours at work. He'll have 4 hours of chill time and 8 hours of sleep. All right, that sounds okay. Most people can tolerate this for extended periods of time before they, implode. It is what it is. Next, you have the divorced man. And this is between, ages 25 and 50. And like the frustration graph, this is usually how many frustration points men between this age bracket have. 12, and it goes down to 8 as you get older. I'm 55, so mine is like 5 or 6 now. Same thing up here. A married man between ages 25 and 45, you can tolerate, 12 to 8 frustration points. When you're young, you can take 18. Some people can tolerate more frustration points. Because think back to when you were a kid. You had to do your homework, your chores, everyone's on your ass. You had to deal with bullies and problems at school, and it was very stressful, and Mother Nature compensates for that by allowing you more frustration points. All right. Now, if you're a divorced man and you're getting hit with child support, and I covered this in the Deadbeat Dad Dilemma video. I did that one 6 years back. You're going to have to get 2 jobs. So you're going to spend 8 hours at job number 1 and 6 to 8 hours at job number 2. And then you get your sleep and chill time, which usually is just sleep time. This is hard to sustain. It becomes literally mentally and physically unbearable after a certain amount of time. Usually, depending upon who you are, within 36 months, you are burned the fuck out. All right. Now over here, we have the list of frustration points. All right. Now this is basically for just the job. If you have a job that could, make you sick, like asbestos, working around lead, if you're in a plant with microfibers, illness, worrying about illness, it's a big frustration. It's +2. If you can get injured on the job pretty badly and you always have to worry about it, that's a +2. Now, if you're working a job where you are in fear of death, i.e. mining coal or working in a steel foundry, The uber dangerous jobs, that's a +4. All right. And hopefully they compensate you for that. Usually they don't, but you can always hope. All right. Now you have the jobs that have no job security. You show up there, you bust your ass, you have no idea if you're going to have a job in a week. That adds a lot of frustration and stress, so I'm going to give that a +3. It's almost the equivalent of fear of death on the job. Like, job security goes a long way to your inner peace and tranquility. I'm just saying. All right. You have a shit boss, just an absolute asshole, doesn't know what he's doing, makes your life a living hell, nitpicks you, and you have to walk around in eggshells around him. That's +1. Now they want to pay you under the, low pay. You're working a dangerous job. You should get paid more, but they're not. You get low pay is +2. Now, keep in mind, these are frustration points that add up. And if you go over your frustration allotment that you can tolerate, you can have psychotic breaks, nervous breakdowns, midlife crisis, guys jumping off buildings, guys shooting themselves, going out on this killing spree. Not a good thing. So you have to be careful of the frustration to the balance of your life. All right. Next, you hate your job. You show up to the job and you fucking hate it. That's +2. All right. It's the equivalent of illness or injury on the job. All right. Say you have to work over 12 hours on a consistent, a consistent time hack. That's another +2. All right. Now, this is illness outside of, getting sick at work because of work. Say you got cancer. It's a low-level cancer. It's a nuisance. You have to get chemo every now and again. Or maybe you have an autoimmune problem or something like that. You have an illness that's just a nagging thing in the back. That's +2. All right. Then you have, diminished sleep schedule. Like I said here, if this is digging into your sleep time, it adds up. It adds a lot of frustration. I'm sure a lot of the workplace violence that Jimmy mentioned in that last graph happens because people are fucking tired. They've gone over their bullshit saturation and violence ensued. All right. Here we go. You're going to love this one. Now, these are adding on to the frustration and these are taking away from it. Say you absolutely love your job. Well, it's -3 on the frustration. All right. There is truth to the saying, if you love your job, you will never work a day in your life. It goes a long way. Now, a lot of people don't get the benefit of loving their job. It just is what it is. I did not particularly care to be a mortgage broker, and the only reason I did it is the money was too fucking good to say no to. All right. Next, you got a good boss. He's fair, consistent. You see him from time to time. That's +1 or -1. Say you have a fucking great boss. Somebody doesn't show up for work. He's next to you doing that other dude's job, making everyone's life easier. He's giving people fair, even, honest reviews. He's not listening to bullshit. He only goes by what he sees on the job. What you do outside the job is your own fucking business. You can suck a fucking train of dicks. If it doesn't interfere with your job, he doesn't care. That's a fucking great boss. That's -2. All right. Say you have a good relationship at home. I know it's rare, but if you do, it's -3 because there's a lot of guys out there who will literally walk on broken glass as long as it keeps the family together and happy. I have seen it thousands of times. All right. Next, good money, -4. Listen, money talks and bullshit walks. That's why we're giving this a -4. All right. Now, this is baseline shit here, baseline frustrations. You got to worry about your food. You got to worry about your shelter. And you got to worry about your family. So you're already coming out of the gate with 3 frustration points. So let's do a little math here, shall we? Let's say you are 35. You fucking hate your job. Let's see, it's +2. You're not really working in an industry that will give you illness, injury, or fear of death. You have a shit boss, +1, and you're divorced. That's +4. All right, so you're already at 7 on the frustration level. And then you have the 3 on top of that. Literally, 35-year-old man is sitting at a 10 frustration points. All right, so 35, he probably dips below or he's even with. So say he has 10 frustration points at 35 and there's 10 frustration points here. That means he will stay at his job. He'll stay, he'll toe the line. It is what it is. But say this goes up to 13, 14, 15. He's in the deficit. The guy's going to break. And that happens to a lot of men right around the age of 45 when their frustration points go down to 8. All right. It's very easy to go over 8, especially when you have 3 frustration points coming out of the gate. This is when you start to see dudes, just say, fuck it, cash in the 401, buy a red Corvette, get an RV and just drive across the country. They don't fucking care. They want to have a harem of side chicks. They fucking, turn their back on their wife and family, or they kill themselves because they went over the frustration allotment that anyone can fucking take. Listen, no one here is above being mentally broken by the circumstances of life. You have to remember this basic lesson. And it's up to you to maintain where you are on this curve. If you hate your job, get a fucking another one. If you're in a shitty fucking marriage, get rid of her. Deal with the divorce bullshit. Listen, dudes who file for divorce do it because it's fucking worth it. All right? You don't have job security? Find a job that does. It is what it is. It is up to you. Keep this information in the back of your head. And when you're going around your business, go, hey, is this going to really make me frustrated in the long run? Should I really fucking do this? Is it okay? Am I getting enough money to deal with this frustration? Because most of the time it's no. Most of the time people pay you just enough to make you come back the next day. It is what it is. Now, there's a reason why they pay linemen so much money. It's fucking dangerous, and they have fear of death and injury on the regular. And that is offset because they pay them good money. It's just like underwater welders. I knew a couple of those guys. They work maybe 3-4 months out of the year, and they're banking 150 to 180 G's a year. That's what they told me. I haven't done the research to look into that, but it's hard on their body. Literally, you can only do it for a limited amount of time before your bone structure collapses. So they compensate with money. All right. Please, gentlemen, I'm tired of burying you. Keep this in the back of your head. When shit goes south, just boil it down to math and subtract shit from one column and look for things to put in the other column. And then you don't have to take head meds. You don't have to start a shotgun. You can go on to live long, happy, productive lives. I know it sounds easier than it sounds easy. It looks easy, but in practice, it's fairly difficult. All right, that's it for the brief, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But again, I'm tired of burying you guys. All right.
Damn right there. All right, we'll jump into some super chats here. We'll start over here on YouTube. Got a Shaggy Sunshine, says $5, says last donation for a while, but happy holidays, including yesterday's, and cheers, apples. Hold your tongue while saying it.
Boom.
Cheers, apples.
It's all good, bro.
Got Alex Patino here with a couple in a row. Says July 1st, 1916, first day of the Battle of the Somme of the Brits. Some of the Yeah, some of the Brits lost 19,240 men KIA with a total of 57,470 casualties in that day alone. The battle lasted 4 months.
One fucking day.
Yikes.
Wow.
Second one here says in 2016, it was found that Mother Teresa was worth over $100 million. Wonder how she got all that money. Mouth hugs?
You never know.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
$100 million.
20 million. And got Bart Fine says, your liver can regenerate back from the brink of death.
Yes, it can. I'm in the process of doing that right now.
Yep. It is the only self-healing organ that we have.
It only will heal if it's not all scarred up. If it's all scarred up, it gets ugly. It's called cirrhosis.
I've been keeping the chat on the Rumble. We didn't have anything coming over there, but did have a few over here on MGTOW.tv, the best chat on the internet. I'm telling you guys, if you guys aren't signed up over there, you're fucking up by the numbers. It's like just MGTOW, Mando, and Crazy Uncle are the other ones over there. Let's see, the first one from Mando, he says, Jimmy, you're the poster boy for self-deprecation. We have all seen your script. Yeah, self-deprecation humor is it's one of my coping mechanisms. Helps me laugh.
The same thing. I do the same thing. It's not a big deal.
It's got a Crazy Uncle here. He says most men don't have premature explosion, also known as AD or accidental discharge. Many women don't realize that guys when finally getting that hot chick, get overexcited and forget to relax. Especially when they had no stimulation for about 2 weeks. There is more science to that, but I don't have enough space to type it out up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, Mando coming back with says, Pop, my success rate is so low that if a woman pretends to show me attention, I automatically assume she wants something from me, usually in the form of doing something unpleasant or wanting money.
That's probably correct.
Yep. We got a Crazy Uncle 2 in a row. Here's first one. I don't know if you guys heard about young men and boys getting quote unquote body dysmorphia as bad as women do due to social media and other factors. It might be a good show for you. FYI, if you are training only for looks, unless you're a professional bodybuilder / model, you're doing it wrong. Yep. Train to be healthy and happy with yourself. That's all I got to say about that. And Crazy Uncle second one, he says, since women like to shit test us, here's one for them. Claim you're going to take them out to the expensive restaurant they want, then call them the day prior and claim you can't do dinner, and then offer them a coffee date. FYI, make sure you get their reaction on video or audio.
They will go berserk.
Oh my God, what the fuck do you mean you can't do this? Fuck.
So I had to pay a ticket. What do I have to tell you?
Yeah. Insurance came. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And Mando's last one says, the deadliest catch, the cute blonde on the crab boat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
And you might catch some crabs, the wrong kind of crabs.
Yeah.
The ones that are out of season.
Yeah. Some scotchy chingos. Get yourself some extra little buddies.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll jump over to Odyssey here. We got Agent of Social Media Chaos. Here's an Urban Dictionary definition for you guys. I'm gonna butcher this because I don't do medical terms.
Okay.
But it's Scedia, SCHEDIA philia.
Skadishphilia?
Skittish-philia or something like that. It is being in love or sexually attracted to anime or cartoon characters.
Yeah, I got a problem if that's going on.
Yeah, that's it. Got a problem there, man.
Yeah.
Second one here says, anime women are better than real women in almost every way, so I can understand why Urban Dictionary is the Urban Dictionary definition is a thing.
Actually, the measurements of a lot of those anime characters are impossible.
They're unrealistic, and I'm just saying, if you're attracted to a cartoon drawing, got some issues there, bro.
Yeah.
Got Tatsuya coming in. Says, I'd say my biggest worry is that they try to draft people and it sparks a civil war because of how disloyal the men of the U.S. are to the government.
And listen, there's a reason for that. It's because men have been getting fucked in court for decades. It's plain and simple. Don't even get me started. I'll fucking go on for an hour.
Better have a shot, Pop.
I better not. I'm trying to cut back on the booze for a while. Got to regenerate my liver.
There you go, man. All right, got a Chief Kick Bitch of the Slap Ho Nation. Says, I've hired some local teams to work harvesting fruit and pruning trees. While they work, I put on your videos on female shit testing, the good idea fairy, all kinds of fat, classic mistakes men make, the cougar scale, and their favorite Pringles can full of shit.
Yeah,
Winning.
I love it.
You have new young fans. Awesome. Keep sending them the stuff, man. Let's see, Andreas Christian coming in. He says, hi, all. Pop sent you 2 long emails about paranormal stuff. Maybe
I got a couple of them. I moved them over to the paranormal file, and we'll get to them.
There we go. Good. Maybe good for a paranormal episode or 2. One email is from my experiences, some of them. Rest or military, Andreas Christian from Odyssey.
Okay, cool.
There we go. Got a Ellie Card 1776 says, PT, we like it. We love it. Make it hurt, Sergeant Major. Make it hurt. Cadence from my Cadence from my JROTC days in high school.
Okay. Yeah, I sang all those cadences. I know that.
Yeah. I got his Alcard 776 coming back again. He says, when it comes to a slewer tree, just cut it down and set it ablaze.
Not going to say you're wrong.
Nope. Got to have the firewood for the upcoming winter months. I got a Doge log coming in. Says, oi! Oi, back to you there, gun. Got a Agent Social Media Chaos coming back again. Says, just a reminder that anime women will not screw you over in divorce court or give you false Me Too accusations the way real women will.
You're absolutely correct.
That's why anime women are better than real ones.
I can't argue with you there, buddy.
Yeah, can't argue with you on that one there.
Yeah, I think you won that argument. Touche to you.
Let's see, let me double check the email here. Don't see any cash apps that came in, so do a quick refresh of the super chats here. I got Vincent of MGTOW over on YouTube, $4.99. Says, Pop, Joe Biden is our self-defecator in chief, and he is ruining us with these BS wars today. Learned that the Ruskies are parked a destroyer in Cuba.
That's fine.
That sounds like fun.
I'm going to be honest with the performance of the Russian army. I don't know if their Navy's any better. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. Let's see. Looks like a Digital Do emailed us some memes. Keep kicking ass. Will do. We'll have to save those memes for another time. Looks like that is it for all of the super chats. So
all right.
I believe we are ready for our midweek safety brief.
All right, everybody. Don't drink and drive, and don't drink and swim because it never works out. Wear a condom, take it with you, or flush it down the toilet and watch it go. All right. If you have to fight, do everything in your power not to go to the ground, even run away. Fuck your pride. All right. Now, rack up, pack up, stack up, travel in groups, and maintain your situational awareness because it will save your life at some point. Thank you for watching the Wednesday stream, and I hope to see you all here tomorrow with Blake.
Hell yeah. Like I
all
said,
right. I can't do an after party tonight, so.
Yay or nay on that one?
I can't do it.
Can't do it?
Yeah, I got some shit going on. I got to get out too.
It's good. Pop's got some shit to handle, guys. So apologies.
Hey, guys, let me know in the comments or send me emails if you like the little comedy briefings I do at the end of the Wednesdays. So I'll keep doing them.
I think that's what they're here for, Pop. So All right, gentlemen, we will see you guys tomorrow night for Thought Thursday, and it's going to be a good one.
I can't wait.
Have a good one. Take it easy.